Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today our topic is balancing organic redox reactions. As all of you know that you have balanced various inorganic redox reactions. I will discuss with respect to organic chemistry how the redox reactions are balanced. Redox reactions equations are balanced. Simply, you can say redox reactions are electron transfer reactions. If the molecule is a reducing agent, it can donate electron to the oxidizing agent, and then mm, uh, it, it donate electrons, and these electrons are transferred to here, and this molecule is oxidized, and whereas this molecule is reduced. So the electron transfer reactions are known as redox reactions. So before balancing the organic redox reactions, it is important to know what is the oxidation level of the carbon in an organic compound. As you know that organic compound, the structural formula is very important. So you will see that in each organic compound, different types of organic compound, you will see the carbon has different oxidation levels. So it is essential to understand how what is the oxidation level of carbon. So there are certain rules. If the carbon is attached to the carbon atom, then its oxidation level is unaffected. So you will count here for one carbon or for one alkyl group as 0. If the carbon is attached to hydrogen, then you will see that it has an oxidation state of +1. This hydrogen has oxidation state of +1. It means that every carbon hydrogen bond will decrease the oxidation state of carbon by 1. So you will count for carbon -1, because -1 for carbon and +1 for hydrogen can neutralize, and the total oxidation state is always equal to 0 for any compound. For carbon halogen or for carbon heterobond, the X may be any heteroatom, maybe halogen, maybe nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur. So you have to count here uh, -1 for this heteroatom, and then in order to compensate, the carbon has a +1 oxidation state. It means that when the heteroatom is there attached with the carbon, the oxidation state will increase by 1. In compounds with multiple bonds, then you have to count according to the multiple bond. If the multiple bond is like this, carbon oxygen double bond, this is carbonyl, so you have to count is it twice, means it has -2, and then accordingly it has plus carbon has +2 electronic configuration. Similarly, if you go for here, carbon is triply bonded to nitrogen in nitrile, you will count here nitrogen for 3, -3, and then carbon has oxidation state of +3 in nitrile. So here is the some simple examples. You can calculate the oxidation level of carbon in methane by putting +1 for 4 hydrogen, then it will be equal to, for carbon it is -4. Whereas for methyl chloride, then you have to write over here +1 for 3 hydrogen, and -1 for 1 chlorine, because it is a heteroatom. So by solving, you will come to know that carbon has -2 oxidation state in methyl chloride. Similarly, for propene, which is labeled with 1, 2, and 3 carbon, for carbon number 1, the oxidation state of carbon is -2 as calculated, and carbon number 2 is -1, and for carbon number 3, it is -3. For formic acid, this carbon has an oxidation state of +2. How it is +2? Formic acid, this oxygen has -2, this has +1, and this one has -1. So you will see that this -1 and +1 is cancelled, and you will see the carbon has +2 oxidation state. Whereas the carbonyl carbon of formaldehyde, it is at 0 oxidation state, because this -2 and these 2 plus 1 are cancelled. So by following these rules, we come to know that formic acid carbon has oxidation state of +2, whereas formaldehyde has oxidation state of 0. Similarly, you can calculate for ethanol and like this and this. I have written all the oxidation state of carbon along with their formula, that how the extreme condition is CCl4, 4 heteroatoms are there. So this carbon oxidation state is +4, whereas it is 0 in tetra substituted carbon, because each carbon is bonded to carbon atom which is unaffected. Similarly, I have written these values for this one. You can calculate and you can make practice. Now I will discuss another concept, that how the equations are balanced. Before going to balance this equation, I will just write over here that redox reactions are electron transfer reactions, actually this is the redox reactions in which the oxidation state of carbon is changed. For example, alkene, this is ethene, and when it is hydrogenated, hydrogen content has been increased, and this is understood it is a reduction. So you will see that there is a net decrease in of carbon oxidation state per molecule. Carbon oxidation state is -2 over here and -3 over here. So it is net decrease in carbon oxidation state has been observed, and this is net decrease of oxidation of carbon. Oxidation state of carbon is also termed as reduction. Whereas in case of oxidation, there is observed that there is an net increase in oxidation state of carbon. For example, this ethene, when it is oxidized with hydrogen peroxide, the oxidation state of carbon has been increased to -1 in ethylene glycol. So redox reactions are those in which the oxidation state of carbon is changed. If it is decreased, it is reduction. If it is increased, it is oxidation. There are certain rules for balancing redox reactions. On the basis of their oxidation state, we can also write different electrons, how the electrons have been transferred. So this is very important. Number one, if you have to balance an equation, you have to divide it into two half reactions, reduction half reaction and oxidation half reaction. And for each half reaction, you have to balance different atoms as well as on both sides and electrons. You can balance hydrogen by adding H plus ions, and you can balance oxygen by addition of water molecule on the other side of the equation. And you can multiply each half reaction with a number in such a way that number of electrons gained will be equal to number of electrons lost. So you have to combine the both equations, half reactions, and then net reaction will be the balanced equation, the balanced redox reaction. Here is one of the examples where you can see oxalic acid. Oxalic acid has been oxidized by potassium permanganate. This is oxalate anion. It has been oxidized by permanganate anion in the presence of an acid to give you carbon dioxide and manganese +2. So you have to divide this whole equation into two half reactions. First of all, oxidation half reaction, oxalate anion is converted into carbon dioxide. This is oxidation half reaction. I have added 2 electrons. Why? Because the oxidation state of carbon in oxalate anion is +3 and it is converted into +4. It means that each carbon has lost 1 electron. This carbon, so 1 electron from here and 1 electron from here. So it means that 2 electrons have been lost. The rest of the things are same. For example, if you say 2 carbon, over here is 2 carbon, and here 4 oxygen and 4 oxygen. Now reduction half reaction, manganate ion which is converted into manganese +2. So you have to write that the 5 electrons are added. Why? Because manganese in manganetine is +7 oxidation state and it is converted into +2. It means 5 electrons have been added. You can add H plus and H2O to balance hydrogen and oxygen respectively. So here you can say you have 4 oxygen. So you can write over here 4H2O here, and then you have to add 8H plus because there are 8 hydrogen. So these are the two equations. So this is the mistake, 2H plus is not included over here. So you have to balance this equation before going to add up these two equations, you have to multiply this reduction half reaction with 2 because there are 2 electrons in the next, whereas this equation is multiplied with 5 because in previous equation there are 5 electrons involvement. So you will get this equation by multiplication of this equation with 2, and this equation is multiplied with 5. So you will get over here in this way. So net reaction will be like this. These 10 electrons and 10 electrons are cancelled, and here are 16H plus. You have to write over here 16H plus 5 carboxylatine and 2 manganetine, and then 10 carbon dioxide, 2 manganese plus 2 and 8H2O. Instead of this H plus, you can write sulfuric acid, and instead of oxalatine, you can write oxalic acid. As you know that for oxalic acid, the formula is dihydrated, so you have to write it in this way. If the 2H2O is there, then the 4 hydrogen have been the part of this oxalatine. So it means that 12 hydrogen are still there. Sorry, not 2 into 2, 4 plus into 5. This one, 4 hydrogen are there. So you will write over here 4 hydrogen for this one, and rest of the thing 3 2s are 6 for this one. This is a balanced equation. So you can write instead of these 5 oxalator 9, you will write over here 5 molecules of oxalic acid will react with 3 molecules of sulfuric acid. Why 3? Because here 5 2s are 10, 10 hydrogen have been compensated instead of 16, and 6 hydrogen are still there. Then you have to write it in this way, the 3 molecules of sulfuric acid, and then you will write over here 2K potassium permanganate, and then 10 carbon dioxide molecules, same manganese plus 2 in the form of manganese sulfate. As there is potassium permanganate instead of manganate, so it is potassium sulfate which is formed along with the 8 molecules of water, not 18.